Hey guys, this is Mr. LOL, and I want to talk to you about some Star Wars. As you probably know, well, spoilers if you have not already seen the Star Wars movie, the new Force Awakens, I recommend you go ahead and see it now. But there's been on the news about how Jar Jar was actually a Sith Lord, and then a lot of people thought Jar Jar was gonna be Snoke in the movie. But as you see, Snoke looks totally different from Jar Jar, so kind of threw people off. But what if I told you, or have you ever thought of the possibility that Jar Jar, the bumbling idiot, and Snoke that you saw in the movie The Force Awakening was the exact same person? Snoke, Jar Jar, and Darth Plagueis are all the exact same person. Now you're probably going to ask, well, that really don't make no sense. Maybe you have to explain. Well, that's what I'm here to explain to you about. As you know, Plagueis was wanting to achieve immortality. And, they didn't really say if he did or not. It was never actually mentioned.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
He could actually save people from death.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What happened to him?
He became so powerful. The only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
But what if he did? And what if his immortality wasn't actually keeping that one body alive, but what if it was jumping to other bodies? So, what if he jumped to Jar Jar's race body? What if that was one of Jar Jar's races, but he took over his body? And as you've seen, Jar Jar, if you watched all the other videos on YouTube, this is all from the same theory. He jumped into that bigger fish body in Star Wars Episode 1 and killed that fish that was chasing them. Then he jumped back into his body.
So, remember how there's always a bigger fish?
There's always a bigger fish.
So, they're being chased by this fish, and it's super dangerous, oh no. Jar Jar passes out. He's like, oh no, I'm so scared, blah, 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 and then he's passed out.
Decompression sickness.
And then the bigger fish shows up, chomps down on the little one. The bigger fish's eyes glow the same color as Jar Jar's eyes. And then Jar Jar wakes up after they're saved and is chewing a little bit. And he's like, oh, everything's fine, thank goodness. He went into that bigger fish.
He warged into it. Yeah.
Ate the little one, and then woke up.
See what I'm going with this? What if that was Darth Plagueis that jumped into Jar Jar's body, pretending to be Jar Jar, and then jumped out of his body when he got done? What if that was Plagueis' immortality? a lot to think about. Oh, and if you read the book, the Plagueis book, they said it wasn't canon, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to use some things for that in the movie. But as Palpatine, or Sidious, killed Plagueis, not too long after, he felt a force, a greater power, even of his own.
Emperor, the Sith will have had their revenge, and I will rule the galaxy.
Plagueis slid to the floor and rolled face down. Death rattled his lungs, and he died. Sidious moved back into the room to take a closer look at Plagueis. Then, after a long moment, he returned to the window and pulled the drapes aside. His spirit soared, but briefly. Something was shading his sense of triumph, a vague awareness of a power greater than himself. Was it Plagueis reaching out from the far side of death to vex him? Or was the feeling a mere consequence of apotheosis?
And for a second he thought maybe that was Plagueis. And what if it was? What if it was Plagueis? What if Plagueis can jump, like I was talking about, in between the Force and back to bodies? So as far as we know, he jumped out of his body to repair his body and to jump back in. So if you've seen the first movie, well, not the first movie, if you've seen the Star Wars Awakening, maybe that's his original body. But maybe he could jump into other bodies, as I was saying. This is just information I'm gathering. I will keep y'all updated on newer theories that I come up with or think about or find. But yeah, just let me know what you think about this. What if Plagueis can body jump? And what if he could just jump to different bodies, like Jar Jar's body and, you know, other whatever he did, every other blah, 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 whatever else he did. But like they were saying, they said they was gonna do new things with the new movies, new abilities, and I know you heard of the one that maybe Snoke is Kylo Ren from the future, you know, and you know that theory I don't really think is possible. And then they came up with Jar Jar's Darth Plagueis, and then they was disappointed when it was ended up being somebody else who looked totally different. But that's where my theory comes in. Maybe they're all the same person. Maybe it's just Plagueis jumping in different bodies. And after he came back to life, he, you know, went and hid in the shadows and let Palpatine do his thing. And after Palpatine died, hey, it's his time to step up and take where he left off. But yeah, y'all, you just let me think what y'all think about this. Just let me know. See ya.
It's ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. His apprentice killed him in his sleep, but not himself. Killed him in his sleep, in his sleep, in his sleep.
So Darth Plagueis has always worked from the shadows. He orchestrated Palpatine's rise to power in the Galactic Republic, where he became Chancellor. Now, he was, of course, supposed to be promoted to Co-Chancellor along with Palpatine, but Palpatine believed to have killed him in his sleep. He orchestrated Palpatine's rise to power in the Galactic Republic. Orchestrated Palpatine's rise to power.
Strong Chancellor, one who will not let our tragedy continue.
Emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
Your Highness, Senator Palpatine has been nominated to succeed Valorum as Supreme Chancellor.
Now, Palpatine also states that it's ironic that Plagueis was able to save others from dying and not himself. Now, the theory is that he actually was eventually able to save himself from death, and then once he had come back from the dead, instead of killing Palpatine, he allowed Palpatine to do the work for him. He allowed Palpatine to build up this empire, since that he had obtained immortality basically and was able to live forever. He could just sit back and watch Palpatine grow this empire and essentially do all the work for him, remaining in the shadows and using Palpatine as his puppet still, even without his knowledge, being able to cloud Palpatine's mind into making him think that he is the Lord of the Sith, when in fact another more powerful, more cunning, more intelligent Sith is still lurking in the background, doing exactly what his original plan is, and now just waiting.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't sense anything.
It's not about the mission, Master. It's something elsewhere. Elusive.
Always two there are. No more, no less.
Wishes them. She's curious about the planet. The Queen wishes them. She's curious about the planet.
The Queen will not approve.
The Queen doesn't need to know.
Well, I don't approve. Well, I don't approve.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.